All right, folks, this is a Oklahoma weather alert right around 9:30. It's William Cole here, back live in the Oklahoma Weather Tracker TV Forecast Center with you. And again, we're continuing to track these heavy thunderstorms now on the western sides of the Oklahoma City metro, all the way down into parts of southwestern Oklahoma. The good news is we have no severe weather in Oklahoma. We had one lone severe cell earlier this evening. It was down in southwestern Oklahoma. We had two severe thunderstorm warnings on it. Philip McGee, our lead storm tracker, he was on that storm out there in the Oklahoma Customs official storm tracking truck. He had some quarter-size hail. We had that live here on Oklahoma Weather Tracker TV. Now, since then, right around the 8:30 p.m. time frame, we've had no severe weather in Oklahoma. However, we do still have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect this evening from northwestern Oklahoma. It does include the Tulsa metro, all the way down through the Oklahoma City metro, Lawton, Ardmore, all those locations as well. That goes until 4 o'clock this morning. So again, the opportunity, at least even heading into the overnight period, we're going to have some dynamics, some things that kind of focus over Oklahoma, that again, we could have an additional severe storm or two. We're not talking about a lot of severe weather, but a severe storm or two, again, could be possible again heading into the overnight period. So as we take a look at live mesoscan radar, first of all, in the broad view here, we'll go and zoom this in a little bit, but just to show you our team of trackers, we have a lot of guys out there this evening from southwestern Oklahoma with Terry over there, Tori up there in northwestern Oklahoma, and then everything in between with Jesse and Mike, Philip McGee, Anthony, Mark, everybody out there, again, really focusing right around these storms. Now, we're going to get to Mark Rodriguez here in a second. He's in the Oklahoma City metro, but let's go and zoom this radar in here just a little bit. First of all, here to the Oklahoma City metro, let's see what's going on. Again, a lot of people out there now starting to hear some thunder right here in the metro. And again, you can really see on the eastern sides of the Edmond area, really Edmond, you folks have had some fairly heavy rain, the potential at least for some very small hail, maybe some dime-sized hail, potentially moving through the Edmond area here over the last 45 minutes or so. A lot of cloud to ground lightning with this activity as well. But again, you can see at least the stronger cell right now is kind of right up here over the Arcadia area. And again, we're seeing a little bit of that red going to purple right there. Again, some small hail could be possible. Again, not severe hail. So again, this storm is below severe limits, but again, a strong storm nonetheless. The western sides of the Oklahoma City metro from Northwest Highway right there down through the Bethany area, Yukon, Mustang. Again, this is a fairly heavy storm there, fairly strong. Lots of cloud to ground lightning associated with it as well. Let me go and zoom in a little bit on that. And we'll take kind of a closer look at that storm there as well. And then we'll talk to Mark Rodriguez, who's on this storm. But again, you can see that again, basically from the village down through the Bethany area, back over through the Yukon area. This is really starting to pull east of Yukon now, but it's now starting to come into the Mustang area as well. But this is also eventually going to be moving right over downtown Oklahoma City as well. So again, expect some fairly heavy rain, a lot of cloud to ground lightning. That's the one thing Philip McGee has really shown us tonight. A lot of not just cloud to cloud, but cloud to ground direct strikes with this activity. Again, that's what we're even seeing here on radar as well. Now, Mark Rodriguez, he's here in the Oklahoma City metro. He's out and about. Let's go and find out exactly where he is. We'll take his live stream and also pull him on the live line here as well. Mark, go ahead and tell us where you are now and kind of tell us what you're seeing here in the metro.
Yeah, William, we are sitting here at I-40 and Western Avenue right now here in Oklahoma City. I'm just watching a lot of cloud to ground lightning coming in. The rain's still pretty low right now. It's starting to pick up in intensity as it comes in. But right now, we just not really seeing any major hazards in our area right now. Just a lot of cloud to ground lightning.
And you said you're at I-40 in Western, Mark? Is that what you said?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so Mark's basically right near downtown. So these storms are still a little bit there to the west, but he's in prime time location because I tell you what, these storms will be tracking directly through the downtown area, exactly where Mark is. And again, the one thing he will notice is the cloud to ground lightning will definitely be increasing. That's what he's seeing here, and this is a great shot now to have, as again, that lightning is increasing right over central Oklahoma, downtown Oklahoma City, and also, of course, the rain will be increasing as well. With that cell, again, there is at least maybe an opportunity for some fairly small hail. We're talking about maybe some shot-size hail, maybe some dime-size hail. So Mark is in prime time location there as well to kind of tell us what he sees, even as far as that goes. Wind gust as well, as again this line of storms, heavy storms, again moves right over his location. Mark, again, these storms, they're probably still about 10 minutes away from where you are right now. What about the winds? Are you getting any gusty winds, any kind of outflow from these storms now as they're approaching your location there in downtown Oklahoma City?
As of right now, yeah, we do have a little bit of outflow winds starting to come right now. It's fairly warmer temperature as well. It's not too bad right now. I would estimate probably around 30 mile an hour, maybe a little bit gust a little bit higher than that. But, well, excuse me, as soon as I started saying that, the winds have now just started to pick up a little bit heavier as we've been speaking now. and I believe we're getting ready to get the main action here just shortly.
Yeah, so here's where Mark is. There's his live GPS. So this is I-40 right here, and again, he's right there on Western. So there's where Mark is. Again, there's this line of heavy thunderstorms. Again, non-severe, but again, just heavy thunderstorms approaching Mark. But notice there's just a little bit of a bow right here. And again, whenever we see a bow on radar, sometimes that can kind of be indicative of some outflow winds or some winds that are kind of gusting out ahead of the storm, and that's what kind of blows the rain in front of the storm. Okay, so if you think about it, the rain is blowing out because of the winds. That's what gives it that bow feature. And again, this mini bow is actually what's going to be approaching Mark. And in fact, with the latest radar scan here, this bow is now approaching Mark fairly rapidly. So again, here's Mark's location right over here. And again, these storms are literally now maybe like 3 minutes away from Mark. So Mark, any kind of outflow winds, you should definitely be getting them now, as again, those storms are now approaching you. What are the winds like in your area? We'll go ahead and pull your live stream back up here as well.
Yeah, I would estimate right now that they are starting to pick up at a good 40 to 50 mile an hour, maybe an occasional 55. The rain is starting to come down a little bit heavier as of now. I am going to watch this main line here, as you were saying, as that little bow's coming through. I did see something a minute ago in the sky here, but I couldn't really tell if it was just a low-hanging stud in the beginning or what it was, but it looks like I don't want to alarm anybody. Probably most likely it's not a tornado. It is just a really low, scary-looking cloud.
Yeah, we're not, with this right here, we want to be worried about anything in the form of tornadoes. There's really no rotation with these storms. But again, when you see this little bow segment, and again, sometimes that can be indicative of some outflow wind gusts. So in your location with the type of storms that are moving through, again, we're talking about some 40, 45, maybe 50 mile per hour wind gusts. Everything would be below severe limits. So we're really not worried about anything as far as that goes. But again, some 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts possible for sure, as again it moves directly through your areas. We put live mesoscan radar back up. Again, we're showing you exactly where Mark is there with his live GPS location. And again, where you're seeing some of that dark red going to purple, at least an opportunity for maybe some small hail to be mixing in as well. And again, that's going to go really directly over downtown Oklahoma City. You can see this little pocket of purple right there. And again, that could be at least the potential for some dime-sized hail. Again, as this moves through downtown Oklahoma City here, and Mark being right there. So again, Mark is in prime time location, and we'll leave his live stream up as again this moves directly over him. But again, from the village all the way through downtown Oklahoma City, all the way down to really, let's say North Moore as well. West Moore included there as well. Again, there's a pocket of some red and purple, so a little bit of hail could be showing up there as well. And again, that's going to track through parts of northern Cleveland County there as well. But again, Mark, let's go back to your live stream here. I'm going to switch back over. And again, the one thing we're really going to be watching for is, again, the wind gusts potentially moving through your area. And then also, again, a lot of that cloud ground lightning. That's been the one theme throughout the evening that, again, Philip McGee has really seen, as he's been out and about as well, is the cloud to ground lightning potential. That's really, at least right now at this point in time, that's really going to be the main risk with any of these storms. And again, it's not just the cloud to cloud. We're talking about cloud to ground direct strikes that, again, we've been seeing this evening. So it looks like you're in a lot of rain right there from your live stream. It looks like you have a lot of rain showing up now where you are.
Yeah, William, we are starting to get quite a bit of rainfall at this time. It is making it a little bit difficult to see roads. We just got back on I-40 eastbound now, about to pass the Shields Boulevard exit going eastbound. You can probably see the Skydance Bridge coming there in the, we'll possibly see it on the live stream there. That's how heavy the rainfall is coming down. But so far right now, winds are pretty much staying about the same. They are picking up just a little bit. The main thing right now, we've seen some pea-sized hail just a few minutes ago, and it's mainly just a big downpour of rain, making it a little bit difficult to see the road.
So again, some pea-sized hail. So that would be probably indicative of some of this purple that we're seeing there. Again, it's going to definitely be hail below severe limits, but in some of that heavy rain, again, we're seeing that zone of purple there from really downtown Oklahoma City, locations to the north, like the eastern sides of the village. So maybe some pea-sized hail, like what Mark is saying, is probably mixing in there, maybe even up to the size of dimes. Again, we're not talking about large hail, but again, there is an opportunity for some of that to mix in. Even this cell down here, that's going to really be moving into parts of North Moore as well, Valley Brook as well, maybe again some very small hail, pea to dime size possible with that right there. And Mark, did you say anything on the wind gust? Again, what are you estimating? I know you're kind of having to estimate though, but what are you estimating the wind gust at right now again at your live location there?
Yeah, at this time, it's probably about the same, around 50 mile an hour wind gusts. It's kind of hard to estimate as we got a lot of the rain blowing around on us. But as of right now, it's still estimated around 50, 55 at this time. Okay,
looks good. And now, are you getting on I-40 there? I'm trying to look at your live stream. I know there's a lot of rain on your windows, so it's kind of hard to see. The visibility looks fairly low there with a lot of heavy rain falling. But again, it looks like, did you just get on I-40? Is that right?
Yeah, we actually been on I-40 for a little while now. We're about to come up to the 235 I-35 junction heading
Okay.
northbound.
Okay.
As you can tell, like we said in the live stream there, that's just how hard it's raining out there. Wind snipers are full blast, and it is causing a lot of hazards.
Yeah, it looks like heavy rain. In fact, we can even hear it there in your stream. When you were talking, or when you kind of paused when you were talking there, we could actually hear the rain on the window. So again, very heavy rain. Now, part of this is good, of course. We need the rain, so we'll definitely take the rain. This is going to be a quick shot of some fairly heavy rain. We're really not talking about anything in the way of flooding or even localized flooding, just a quick shot of some fairly heavy rain. But again, an opportunity for maybe some small hail to mix in, and then also the big risk with this activity, at least at this point in time, it again is all that cloud to ground lightning that again we're seeing again right here in the Oklahoma City metro. Look at all that water there on Mark's windshield. Again, so he's got the windshield wipers on. This is his live stream, but again, look at all the water just running all over the windshield. And again, all the taillights there, again, how they're just kind of being garbled there with all the water that again is falling out there. So again, some fairly heavy rain, a very quick shot of heavy rain as these storms move through. But again, that is great video of Mark. Again, he's right there on I-40. And again, did you say you're getting to the 235 junction, or have you already passed that, Mark?
Yeah, we're actually crossing the 235 junction now.
See it right there.
We're starting to get a little bit bigger hail than the B size hail you can hear in the background.
Well, what would you say? Would you say dime size, or would you say bigger than dimes?
Yeah, I would say around dime size.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit bigger. It's kind of hard to see about that.
Okay, if it's a little bit bigger, let us know, especially if it's getting up to like nickel size or anything. Definitely let us know on that. But I think what we saw there on radar was some of that purple mixing in there. I was saying P to dime size. I think that would be fairly common. Earlier we had some bigger hail with Philip McGee down in southwestern Oklahoma on a severe storm. It was up near quarters. Maybe I thought it was a little bit bigger than quarters, to be honest. But again, here in the Oklahoma City metro, again underneath some of those heavier cores, again, you know, P's to dimes I think would probably be a fairly realistic again estimate. And again, Mark has actually seen it live. He's driving through it, so again, he's really not even having to estimate it. But let's go and switch over to radar just real quick here, Mark. Again, I just want to show everybody where you are. There's your live GPS. Again, you're right there on I-40, and again, you're basically right there in the core of it. Again, this is centering now right over Oklahoma County. So from downtown Oklahoma City, the Valley Brook area, locations to the north, all through the I-35 corridor there, even up near the Frontier City area, even right there at the junction where you take 44 up to Tulsa. So again, right there, really through that Frontier City zone, if you will, again, right there along I-35. That's another core right there where we're seeing a little bit of purple, at least an opportunity for some of that P to potentially dime-size hail that, again, Mark is seeing there right along I-40, and then even locations to the north. As we zoom the radar out a little bit further, again, we're talking about locations like Luther up there in far northeastern Oklahoma County, and then even as you take the turnpike, locations to the northeast like Chandler up there in Lincoln County. Again, that's a fairly strong storm. Mark, we're going to get back to you again here in just a second as well, but I want to take a look at this storm down here on the northern sides of Chickasha, down here by Amber for our friends down here, also up near the Tuttle area. This is a fairly strong storm. Again, it's not severe, but it is fairly strong. And again, just right there on the northern sides of Chickasha, going over the Amber area, definitely some dime-size hail possible here. So this is 44 right there, again, coming up into the Oklahoma City metro, 44 there. There's Tuttle, fairly heavy rain, a little bit of dimes maybe mixing in there. But right there, we're seeing all that bright purple and pink right there over the Amber area. Definitely dime-size hail would probably be likely, maybe a little bit bigger, maybe even some nickels mixing in right there. Again, that's going to be north of the Chickasha area. Again, Mark Rodriguez right on I-40, again, just over the last 5 minutes, he's getting near dime-size hail right here in Oklahoma County. Let's check locations to the southwest real quick as well. That's where Philip McGee is, just a little bit further to the south. 1 second here as we pull the radar a little bit further down there. And again, you can see there's Philip McGee and Anadarko. And again, so other locations like Elgin there, just to the north of Lawton, all that there is far southern Caddo County, and then locations over near far eastern Kiowa County to the south of Carnegie there. Again, you can see there's still a fairly strong cell there with the potential for a little bit of hail there. Again, we're talking about south of Carnegie, but again, from Apache, Elgin, locations to the north, back up through Chickasha, eventually Ninnekah. And then further to the northeast, again, we're talking about locations like Amber, Tuttle, eventually Blanchard, eventually Norman, eventually Noble, even more. Again, this line of storms is going to continue pushing to the east and to the southeast, and it will be pushing right through those locations. Now let's come back up here into Oklahoma County. Again, that's where Mark Rodriguez is. He's right there on I-40, basically right in downtown Oklahoma City. Let's go and switch back over to his stream, and again, you can see he's still getting a lot of heavy rain right here in central Oklahoma. Look at that cloud of ground lightning. Again, right now, folks, as we've been seeing, the main threat, at least right now at this point in time, it is the cloud of ground lightning with these storms. They're very electrically active. You want to come into an interior part of your house. Stay away from windows, and again, of course, you don't want to be outside watching these storms again as they're approaching, because again, those cloud to ground lightning strikes, they can always reach out from those storms as well. So again, that is really the biggest threat with the activity that we're seeing out there right now, along with the heavy rain. Driving in this would definitely not be recommended. Of course, Mark is a seasoned storm tracker, so he's out there in it, but for the other people we're seeing driving in some of this blinding rain, again, that's not good either. But Mark, you're back on the live line with us. Go ahead and tell us where you are now, and again, tell us what you're seeing. It looks like a lot more heavy rain. What about hail? Have you seen any more hail?
Yeah, actually, we are on I-40 by, I believe it's the Sunny Lane that we're coming up to. We actually ran into some quarter size hail. I'm talking about the size of a quarter. It's about half inch in diameter, so again, this time. Rain's keeping up quite a bit. We did have a few wind gusts back there, probably approaching 55, but the majority of the wind is staying around 40, 45 at this time. And you can hear the hail and see in front of us. We actually have tons of ice breaking onto the car, making it look like it's actual snow trying to stick, and now it's ice coming. The hail's so big over here. Again, we are passing Sunny Lane Road on I-40 eastbound. We've also actually ran into localized calming across the highways as well. And so take it really careful out there if you guys are on the highways with it too. I mean, it's flooding in localized areas pretty quickly. So just take it.
That's great advice, Mark. So you're starting to get over there into the Midwest City, Del City, Tinker area as he's getting to I-40 and also Sunny Lane Road, I believe is what he said there. So again, the main takeaway from that, as Mark said, there's potentially some larger than dime hail now starting to work into these. That's going to be fairly isolated, fairly localized. But again, the risk with these storms this evening, it's going to be that the dime size hail, maybe a little bit larger hail. Mark's potentially even seen some quarters now there on I-40. And again, it's also going to be the lightning with these storms as well. Again, all this cloud to ground lightning. Again, you can see from Mark's stream, these storms continue to be very electrically active. Let's go back over to live mesoscan radar, again, as we take a look here at central Oklahoma, specifically Oklahoma County. And again, the Edmond area, it's starting to quiet down. Again, you folks had some fairly heavy thunderstorms moving through there, again, over the last 45 minutes or so. But again, from I-44 right there, the Turner Turnpike, locations to the south, approaching the Choctaw, Spencer area here, over here in parts of eastern Oklahoma County, the Midwest City, Del City, Tinker area right down in here. Again, that's where Mark is. Again, that's where those storms are basically moving right through. That little area of purple right there, you're seeing that Mark is basically driving through. That could be a localized area of quarters that, again, he was just reporting. So again, it could be right there. We'll take a look at the hail core tracker here in a second. All of southern Oklahoma County, locations like Valley Brook, back down through the Moore area, and then eventually back down towards Norman and Noble as well. Let's go and zoom this out a little bit. And actually, before we do that, let's just see what the radar is estimating with some of these hail sizes. And again, you can see right there where Mark is. Again, this is radar estimated hail size. And again, we're seeing that blue going to green. Again, that's where we're going to be at least seeing the possibility, at least, of some dimes. And again, it's basically exactly where Mark is. And again, if we zoom it in a little bit tighter, you can see there's a little area of green right there where Mark is. So again, that could be some dimes going to quarters. And again, that's exactly what he's reporting. And again, we're verifying that as well right here on radar. So again, we kind of have that 1-2 source. And again, so what Mark is reporting, we're seeing the same thing on radar as well. Now, as we kind of switch back over to the normal mode here, the normal reflectivity mode here, and again, we'll go ahead and zoom this radar out just a little bit, and we'll take a look down across parts of Cleveland County, McLean County, Grady County. Again, heavy thunderstorms continue now on the western sides of the Moore area. Again, eventually coming on into Norman, Noble, down through Purcell. And again, that's a fairly strong storm coming in now to Blanchard, folks. Again, we're seeing that purple, that hot pink there showing up. Again, that's going to be an opportunity at least for some dimes, potentially larger hail, again, moving in on the western sides of Blanchard. Let's go and put on the hail core tracker there as well. And yeah, absolutely, folks. Again, we're seeing that blue, again, going to green. That's definitely dimes. And again, there could be potentially some nickels, something a little bit bigger mixing in there. And again, that is coming in on the western sides of Blanchard. And again, that's our hail core tracker that, again, allows mesoscan radar to look basically right through these hail cores and give us a computer estimate of the size of hail. So again, that's the product that we're using right there. As we go back over the normal radar mode, again, where the computer was estimating the hail would be, again, that's where we're seeing that bright pink, that hot pink area. And again, that's where we could have some dime plus size hail, probably nickels, again, moving into the western sides of Blanchard. Now let's go back up to Oklahoma County here. Again, that's where Mark Rodriguez is. And again, as we kind of zoom the radar in just a little bit tighter, again, he's right there on I-40. He's getting out there in the Midwest City, Del City, Tinker area. Again, just a second ago, he was at I-40 and Sunny Lane Road. Mark, we've got your live stream back up and you're on the live line. Go ahead and give us an update. Tell us where you are and again, kind of tell us what you're seeing right now.
Yeah, William, we have exited off on Sooner Road off of I-40 going southbound toward the Norman area here on Highway 77, you might as well say, which is also known as Sooner Road. We're around the 29th Street area in the construction zone here, and there's actually a lot of localized flooding on Sooner Road here. I don't know if we can try to get a video or try to get here on the live shot or not. But it's hit and miss on that. The hail part has come down, and the rain's still coming down pretty hard. It's not as intense as it was. The winds have also died down just a little bit, but they're still blowing pretty fierce. It's not as gusty as they were on that leading edge there.
It looks like your live stream is frozen, Mark. I don't know if you're able to re-get that going, reset it real quick. It looks like it's frozen, so I switched back over to radar here. But again, what you're saying, we're definitely point taken. Again, that's some fairly heavy rain falling out there along the I-40 area out there in Midwest City, Del City, Tinker area, and then even locations to the north up there near Spencer. So again, Mark is seeing some ponding on the roadway, some localized flooding, and again, this was a fairly narrow band of heavy thunderstorms that kind of got in and got out fairly quickly, but it's kind of widening. It's a little bit thicker now as it's moving through, so that means prolonged heavier rain. We're not talking about flash flooding, nothing crazy like that, but again, localized street flooding definitely could be possible with some of this heavy rain as it moves through. Again, from the Spencer area, locations back down through definitely Midwest City, Del City, Tinker, even on the western sides of Moore. Again, you see all that heavy rain moving in, eventually down towards Norman. We know Norman, anytime there's heavy rain, there's always some type of street flooding issues there. So Norman heads up on that for sure. As again, you're going to have a nice band of heavy rain, a little bit of hail mixing in. Again, that's moving towards Norman here over the next 30 minutes, even down towards Noble as well. But again, point taken there from Mark Rodriguez is for sure that, again, he is seeing some localized street flooding there now in the Midwest City, Del City, Tinker area as well. Now, for locations like Bethany, back up through Edmond, the far northwestern sides of the metro, Yukon, even back over through El Reno, Piedmont, Northwest Highway there, again, everything's starting to quiet down. So again, things starting to wind down and end up there across the northwestern sides of the metro, but now on the southeastern sides of the metro, things are becoming a little more active, and then for the south metro here over the next 30 minutes as well. So Mark, let's go and check your live stream here. And let's see if you're able to get it back up and going. It looks like it's moving a little bit now. It looks like it froze a second ago on us, but you're still on the live line with us. Go ahead and bring us up to date. Tell us where you are now. And again, the one thing we really want to know is, again, if you've seen any more hail. You've had some dime to potentially quarter-size hail over the last 15 to 20 minutes, and then also some of those gusty winds you were talking about, along with some of this localized street flooding. So go and bring us back up to date with, again, what you're seeing and where you are right now.
Yeah, we just crossed over Southeast 44th Street here on Cedar Road, right next to Tinker Air Force Base here. I am starting to see a lot of cloudy ground lightning intensifying. It's picking up a little bit there to my south.
Hey, Mark, I'm going to interrupt you. I'm going to interrupt you just for 1 second, because this storm down there that I've been monitoring down there on the southwestern sides of the metro, so we've got a brand new severe thunderstorm warning for it. It's going to be for Grady, Caddo. It's also going to be for Comanche and Kiowa County down there as well. And again, that's going to be a new severe thunderstorm warning until 10:30. Let me just go and pull up the live watch and warning map here real quick. And again, so Grady County, Caddo County, Kiowa, and Comanche County. This is until 10:30, a brand new severe thunderstorm warning in effect, okay? So this is our third severe thunderstorm warning of the evening, but again, heading into the latter part of the evening, into the overnight period, again, this is when we have a little more dynamics, a few more things happening in the atmosphere that, again, we could get a couple of these isolated severe storms, and again, that's what's happening right now. So let's go back over to a live mesoscan radar. Mark, we're going to get right back to you here in the metro, because I know a lot of people are interested about the metro, and again, we'll be checking right back in with you. But let's go back over to live mesoscan radar, and let's go down here into parts of southwestern Oklahoma. And this is that storm, and Philip McGee's on it. Philip McGee is just to the north of it. We're going to be checking back in with Philip. You see his live GPS. He's sitting there in Gracemont. He's looking due south at this activity now. But again, from Cyril, back over through Apache, and then even back over through the Alden area. Again, you can see this is a fairly strong storm that's now gone severe, and again, it's going to be for some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and the Weather Service is estimating half-dollar size hail, and again, really the hail core could be just to the west of the Alden area. You could see a potential hail core there, but then also just on the southern sides of Cyril, also another potential hail core right there with maybe dimes to nickels there. But again, the half-dollar size hail is most likely going to be with that storm right there. Again, we're seeing all that pink showing up there, again, just to the west of Alden. And again, that's going to be tracking through there. Philip McGee's live GPS right there. So again, we'll be checking back in with Philip McGee coming up here momentarily as well. So again, brand new severe thunderstorm warning there. Let's go back up to Oklahoma County. I want to check back in with Mark Rodriguez. Again, a lot of people are really focused right now on the Oklahoma City metro, but again, we do cover the entire state, so we'll talk to Philip McGee down there in southwestern Oklahoma again here momentarily. But again, Mark, you're on the live line with us. Tell us what you're seeing. It looks like you're getting closer to the I-35 corridor again, just on the western sides of Midwest City.
Actually, yeah, I don't know what's up in my spotter beacon there, but I'm actually on Center Road, about ready to approach I-240 over here, and the only thing I'm really noticing here is all the lightning really intensifying out there to my southwest. I'm trying to get the live stream out there for you guys as well to be able to see that. The rain kind of lightened off a little bit in this area. It's still coming down, but not nearly as heavy. But we do have a lot, mainly the big threat right now is a lot of lightning off my southwest.
Okay, Mark, really appreciate that right there. I was just talking to Philip McGee here real quick. We're trying to get him back on the live line as well. And again, that way we can talk to him on that severe storm down there in southwestern Oklahoma. So again, more to come on that here in a second as we switch back over to live radar here. Again, this is for Oklahoma County. So again, Spencer, Lake Eluma, Forest Park, Midwest City, Del City, Tinker. Again, this is all a very strong storm. It's not severe, but again, this is a heavy storm. Like Mark has been saying, some ponding on the roads, some localized street flooding could be possible because again, this is kind of widened out. This was a very thin band earlier as it was moving through parts of the western sides of the metro, but now it's a little bit thicker. And when I say that, meaning from one side of the heavy rain to the other side of the heavy rain, it's thicker. Earlier, it was a thin band that it moved through, but now it's thicker, so you have a prolonged period of heavy rain. So we're not talking about flash flooding, nothing crazy like that, but again, some of this localized flooding could be possible, and again, some fairly heavy rain. So Spencer, Lake Eluma, Forest Park, Midwest City, Del City, Tinker, all those locations, even down towards Valley Brook, downtown Oklahoma City, now clearing out, as again, the main action is now off to your east. And again, let's go and take the radar further to the south. And again, we're going to take a look at the more Norman area here as well. And then we're going to be talking to Philip McGee down there in southwestern Oklahoma. And I tell you what, folks, even though the Weather Service doesn't have a warning on this storm there in Grady County, it's coming up in intensity. And I have a feeling this storm could soon be producing some quarter-size hail, potentially some severe-size hail. So we're tracking this storm very carefully there. That, again, is coming on into the Blanchard area. It's going to be just to the southern sides of Blanchard. But also right here in the Norman area, again, you can see a fairly strong storm moving in now on the western sides of Norman. Let's go and zoom this in a little bit closer for our friends in Norman, the Newcastle area, even down through Blanchard and Middleburg, and again, even Bridge Creek. Bridge Creek things starting to wind down. But again, right over Newcastle there, just to the west of Norman, again, that's a strong cell. Again, dime-size hail possible where you're seeing that purple and that pink right there. And again, that continues to track to the east right into downtown Norman. So again, some gusty winds, 45, 50 miles per hour possible in Norman. And again, some very heavy rain, lots of cloud to ground lightning. All those little white bolts, those are all individual cloud to ground lightning. Again, from the cloud to the ground, direct strikes that again we're seeing with this activity. And again, a little bit of a hail core right there with again at least an opportunity for some dimes likely mixing in right there. Again, that's going to track directly over Norman, southern Norman Highway 9 there. OSU campus would be right in there, all of North Norman right up through here. So again, all of Norman, again, going to be feeling this, and then also our friends up there in Moore as well. Again, some fairly heavy weather moving through the Moore area right now too. And then locations to the south, even like the Riverwind Casino. Again, you folks down there are also going to be getting some fairly heavy rain. And again, let's just go and call out the Riverwind Casino would be right about there. And again, so all this is basically moving through the Riverwind Casino right now. Then again, back towards the Blanchard area, and then also locations further to the south. Let's go and take a look at our severe storm again down there and across parts of southwestern Oklahoma. And again, we're going to be talking with Philip McGee here again in just a moment. You can see Philip McGee is right down there in the mix on that. But again, on the southern sides of Alden, and again, that's moving into parts of Caddo County, that's where the strongest part of that storm is going to be. And again, as we go ahead and go to the hail core tracker, the Weather Service is estimating the potential, at least, for some half-dollar size hail. And again, that hail core is going to be to the south of Alden. But again, locations like Apache, Stecker, even over through Anadarko. Again, heads up. Again, all these storms down through there, they're fairly heavy, and at least there is an opportunity for some small hail with all of these. But again, the real hail core that the Weather Service has warned on, it's this right here. It's come down in intensity a little bit over the last 5 minutes, but again, that severe thunderstorm warning does continue again until 10:30. Again this evening, so for about another 30 minutes. But again, there's Philip McGee, and again, we'll go ahead and get his live stream, and we'll also get him back on the live line here momentarily as well. I want to come back up to the Oklahoma City Metro just real quick here as well. only because we've got Mark Rodriguez still on the live line with us, Mark. And it looks like your stream is still frozen, but tell us where you are in Oklahoma County and tell us what you're seeing right now, Mark, as we pull the radar back up there.
Yeah, William, we are now on I-240, about a quarter mile just to the east of Eastern Avenue. So we're coming a lot to that pretty quickly. So we're getting really close to the I-35 junction. We just ran into some dime and nickel-sized hail as we've been going back west down into the system as well, with some more localized ponding here on I-240 as well. I think we're going to try to jump on I-35 south down here to get a little bit closer look at what's coming into that Norman area as well for you.
Yeah, what's coming into the Norman area is fairly strong. So, I mean, it looks like maybe your GPS is lagging just a little bit from your actual location there. But again, let me just go move the radar down and move it out and up just a little bit. So eastern Oklahoma County, folks, this is a strong storm. It's not severe, but it's a strong storm. And we're talking about locations, again, like Spencer, again, Choctaw, Hera definitely heads up. Again, this is going to be moving right through the Hera area. Again, Spencer, it's starting to clear out a little bit, but again, Jones, still getting some fairly heavy rain. Midwest City, Del City, Tinker, it's directly over Tinker right now. And again, keep in mind, it's not severe, but again, very heavy rain falling, localized ponding on the roadways, localized street flooding possible. This is a wide area now of heavy rain moving through. And again, just like Mark Rodriguez has said, now he's had some more, I believe you just said some more dime-sized hail. So we're seeing that dark red, some of that purple there. Again, there's going to be some pockets of dime-sized hail moving, mixing in with some of that heavy rain as well. So these are quite strong thunderstorms, but again, just below severe limits. Wind gusts with these could be approaching 45, 50 miles per hour for sure, again, as these do move through the southeastern parts of Oklahoma County. Now, as we zoom out the radar a little bit for our friends up I-44, we're talking about over here in Lincoln County, near the Chandler area, Wellston, right there off I-44. Everyone knows about that Wellston exit, Chandler, and then locations to the north, even up towards Stroud, Kendrick. Again, those are all heavy thunderstorms, a lot of cloud to ground lightning associated with those there as well. And again, all this activity continues to track off to the east and to the southeast. Let's go and put this into movie mode. Let me just go and zoom out the radar, excuse me, completely here, and we're going to put this into movie mode. And again, you can see from really now the southern sides of the Tulsa Metro, Creek County, all the way down 44, Lincoln County, back into Oklahoma County, heavy thunderstorms, and then again we pick up on those severe storms now on the southwestern flank of those down across parts of Caddo and also across parts of Comanche County there just to the north of Lawton. But again, the overall trend is for these to track east with a slight southeast component there as well. So Mark, it looks like we're still waiting on your live stream. That's fine. We'll get back to your live stream in a minute. Now you're still there in Oklahoma County. You're going to be dipping down south, it sounds like, as well, as these fairly strong storms are moving into the Norman area. Again, you've had some dime-sized hail sporadically this evening as these have moved through really the Midwest City, Del City, Tinker area, and also very close to downtown Oklahoma City as well. What are you seeing now? And kind of tell us exactly where you are, just so we can kind of line it up with radar and see the type of core that you're driving through.
Yeah, William, we're now on I-35 southbound around mile marker 121A for 82nd Street in South Oklahoma City, coming into the north side of Moore. Right now, it's just pretty decent rainfall. The lightning is still pretty intense. It looks like it's still about the same as it was the year earlier. It's kind of weakened maybe just a little bit with the intensity on it. But right now, our main thing is just we're seeing a lot of localized rain and localized ponding and just some heavy rainfall.
All right, Mark, really appreciate that right there, that report from you. So we're going to check back in with you coming up here in just a second, okay? So we're going to get back up here to the Oklahoma City Metro here in just a second. But what I want to do, I want to check back in with Philip McGee. So he's down in southwestern Oklahoma. He's very close to that severe storm. He's basically right there in the Chickasha area. Lots of heavy rain going through there. That other severe storm is going to be passing through his location here over the next 30 minutes or so. Let me go and pause the movie mode there on radar, and let's go and put in live mode there. So we're going to get Philip on the live line. Mark, we're going to check back with you here just momentarily. So again, we'll get right back with you. But again, the one thing I do want to do is talk to Philip McGee down here. And while we're getting Philip on the live line, the other thing we want to go and point out, really, let's go and take the radar full here. And overall, across Oklahoma, all the counties in blue that you're seeing there, that is a severe thunderstorm watch, and that's in effect until 4 o'clock in the morning. And again, it's not because we're expecting a lot of severe weather overnight, but there is going to be an opportunity for a few severe thunderstorms overnight. And again, that's exactly what we're seeing. Just like we're seeing this pulse severe storm down across parts of southwestern Oklahoma now, there will be an opportunity for a few additional pulse severe storms as we head through the overnight period. Again, hail being the primary threat with these, and again, a few wind gusts approaching the 60-mile-per-hour mark, again, especially the more linear this line becomes as well. So again, those are the things that we're going to be tracking heading into the overnight period. Now, the other thing to point out is, look at all of our trackers that we have out tonight. Again, all those red dots, those are all their live GPS locations. And again, our trackers are very active tonight from northwestern Oklahoma all the way down into parts of southeastern Oklahoma, and of course most of them are focused right over all the active weather that we have going on in the state. Now, lead storm tracker Philip McGee, he's out there in the Oklahoma Customs official storm tracking truck. Again, you see his live GPS location down there in southwestern Oklahoma, very close to that severe storm, Philip. It looks like you're starting to come into the Chickasha area, but go ahead and tell us what you're seeing. Again, you have that severe storm still off to your southwest. You're in Chickasha. Again, if we can get your live stream up, we'll take that as well. But again, kind of tell us what you've been seeing over the last 20 minutes since we've talked to you last.
Okay, William. Yeah, I am actually pulling into the town of Chickasha right now, and I didn't realize that my stream wasn't up and running. Everything was still showing that we were good, but we've been through some pretty local areas today, and so I'll go ahead and restart it. But I will say this: I was on the western sides of Anadarko just a little bit ago, and I ran into some shot-sized hail that was a pretty large core. It lasted for probably 3 to 4 miles, and heavy downpours. As we're driving through Chickasha right now, there's a lot of ponding on the roadways and stuff like that that's collected on the sides of the road. So definitely driving conditions down here aren't all that great.
Philip, that's the one thing Mark was saying as well. And again, earlier this evening when we were tracking this earlier, this was a thin band. It was a very thin band of storms that was moving through. But like I've been saying, it's really thick now. So again, you can see just the length of this or the width of this. It's a thick line that's coming through. So we're not really talking about flash flooding, but that's one of the things Mark Rodriguez was also mentioning in Oklahoma County, that again, ponding on the roadway and some localized flooding is now likely with these storms as they come through, because again, they are putting down some fairly heavy rain. So again, Philip McGee down there in southwestern Oklahoma near the Chickasha area, again, basically reporting the same thing as Mark Rodriguez when he was in the Midwest City, Del City, Tinker area with, again, that localized flooding with this fairly heavy rain that again continues to come down. Philip?
Yeah, absolutely. Stream should be up and running now. I just got it restarted.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what was going on, but yeah, I mean, it is pouring down rain down here. A lot of the side streets and everything else have a lot of water running through them right now. I'm going to make my way over to I-44 and get out in front of these things. We're driving basically right in the middle of it, but it looks like that maybe down towards the Chickasha area, just on the leading edge of this, it looks like that there might be some high-velocity winds on the leeward side of that.
Yeah, along the leading edge of this evening, Philip, there's definitely been an opportunity for a few wind gusts near 50 miles per hour for sure. We had that little bow segment earlier that even moved through parts of Oklahoma County. I think Mark had some estimated winds up near 50 miles per hour. So that's definitely possible, winds near 50, no doubt about it for sure. And then again, within some of these heavier cores, so to speak, some at least dime-sized hail possible. That one storm down there that's still to the west of Apache, there may be an opportunity, at least the Weather Service was estimating near $half size hail. I think that storm's starting to come down slightly in intensity, but again, still maybe some $half now on the western sides of Apache.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't doubt that one bit. And another thing, we've kind of been talking about this whole thing all night, is just the relentless cloud-to-ground lightning, William. I had to stop and get some fuel in our Arco, and I was almost afraid to get out of the truck because those lightning bolts are hitting probably every 2 to 3 seconds. And so, it's definitely not anything to take lightly. If you don't have to be out in this stuff, don't get out in it at all, period.
No, that's great advice. And again, we're not talking about, cloud to cloud. I mean, these are cloud to ground direct hits that again are coming down to the ground, so extremely dangerous. So again, as these storms come through, again, definitely you want to make sure you're in the interior part of your house, away from windows, and again, you don't want to be outside, looking at the lightning as it's approaching with these storms, because keep in mind that lightning can reach far out in front of those storms, and again, you don't want to be, you don't want that to happen to you. We'll put it that way right there. So, Philip, really appreciate that report down there in southwestern Oklahoma. We're still tracking that other strong to severe storm down there. Let's go and take a look at that. Again, we're going to switch from Philip's live stream momentarily. We're also going to get back to Mark Rodriguez up here in central Oklahoma as well. So stand by. We're going to get back to Mark and again more of his video from central Oklahoma. Strong storms moving through central Oklahoma as well. But I do want to talk about the severe storm down here near the Apache area. And let's go and zoom in on this just a little bit closer. And again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning. And again, this is in effect until 10:30 this evening. It's going to be for this cell that's basically coming right on into the Boone area now, eventually towards Apache, Stecker, even over towards Fletcher, Elgin, right there off of I-44. If you folks have ever been down to Lawton or drive down to Lawton, you know where Elgin is. You pass right through there. But again, it's this cell right here. And again, the Weather Service is saying at least the potential for maybe some half dollars. So again, a definite health threat there. Again, moving through Boone, Apache, back over towards Fletcher, Elgin, eventually even towards the Cyril area. And again, that's the core that again is severe, that again we're tracking very carefully. Right now, it's over a fairly rural part of Oklahoma, but again, as it does approach parts of the Elgin, Fletcher, Apache, Cyril area, again, we're going to be tracking that very, very carefully here. And again, like I mentioned, Philip McGee now just to the north of that storm there as well, as he's in the Chickasha area. Okay, so let's go and come on back here to the Oklahoma City Metro. We're going to be checking back in with Mark here momentarily. And again, you can see Mark's live GPS. Again, he's in Moore. Looks like he's dropping southbound on 35 right now. So again, we'll check in with Mark momentarily. But again, Moore down through Norman, down through Noble. Again, very heavy rain falling right now. Maybe a little bit of small hail even mixing in across parts of Norman. Again, you're seeing that dark red going to purple now on the eastern sides of Norman. That's going to be out there near the Alameda area, eventually even out towards Lake Thunderbird here in about the next 10 minutes. But again, maybe some dime-sized hail potentially mixing in with that. And then also locations to the north. As we get back into parts of Oklahoma County, we're still talking about, excuse me, from really the Midwest City, Del City, Tinker area, things starting to lighten up there. But then as you start to get into far eastern Oklahoma County, locations like Hara, and then even eventually out there into Pottawatomie County, McLeod, Dale, out there off of I-40, again, still some fairly strong storms there. Non-severe, but again, an opportunity for, again, at least some heavy rain, frequent cloud of ground lightning, and up to at least dime-sized hail. And again, you can see that's going to be moving right through the McLeod area, also moving through Hara currently right now. Now as we take the radar a little bit further to the northeast, we're going to take it up I-44 here. And again, really from Wellston through Chandler, all the way up through Bristow now, coming up to Sapulpa, now also coming up really into the southwestern sides of the Tulsa Metro. This area, this line of storms only continues to enhance. And again, some fairly heavy storms now, just really to the west of Bristow there. You're seeing those little white check marks. Again, that's cloud of ground lightning, and now really starting to show up big time there, just to the west of Bristow. So again, here's what we're going to do. So we're going to check back in with Mark Rodriguez. Again, he's in Cleveland County. We're going to get back with Philip McGee coming up here in just a few minutes. Again, let's go and switch back over to Philip's live stream here. And actually, let's go ahead and take the radar full here as we get ready to talk to Mark Rodriguez. And overall, again, you can see all those counties in blue there, folks. Again, that is a severe thunderstorm watch that does continue for a good portion of Oklahoma. That's in effect until 4 o'clock this morning. And again, overall, we're not anticipating a lot of severe weather, but again, some pulse severe weather will definitely be possible. Again, just like what we're seeing out there right now, again, in southwestern Oklahoma, again, with that one storm, again, at least approaching severe limits with, again, an opportunity for some potentially half-dollar size hail. At least that's what the Weather Service is estimating it. Again, Philip McGee is down there very close to that storm. He's in Chickasha. We're now going to talk to Mark Rodriguez. Again, he's right here in central Oklahoma. He's coming into the Cleveland County area. He's on I-40. And again, we'll go ahead and talk to Mark. You see his live GPS location there. And again, Mark will fill us in with exactly what he's seeing. So Mark, you're back on the live line with us here. And as we go and zoom the radar in, we'll take a look at Mark's live GPS location as he does continue to drop south there on I-35. Again, it looks like he's in Moore right now. But Mark, you're on the live line with us. Go ahead and tell us again where you are, and go and tell us what you've seen. Again, you've seen some up to dime to maybe quarter-size hail over the last 45 minutes across parts of southern Oklahoma County. I know you've now kind of ventured into Cleveland County by your GPS. It looks like you're on I-35 there. But tell us what you're seeing now as you're starting to drive through Moore, and then we'll also go and take your live stream here as well.
Yeah, William, we are at Gulf Street and I-35 at this time. It is starting to look like it's trying to tamper off a little bit in this area. The rain's kind of lightened up. Haven't seen any hail recently or any really big wind gusts here lately. But other than that, it's still about the same as it was not very long ago when you checked in with me.
Yeah, it looks like you're kind of on the back end of it there again with your live GPS. Again, you can see really the main bulk of the action. So here's Mark right up here, right? So here's his GPS. That's his live beacon right there. So again, the main activity is now pushing to the east. So again, we're talking about really eastern Cleveland County, Lake Thunderbird right there, East Norman here, Noble down in here. So again, from East Norman down through Noble, again, fairly heavy rain. Look at the secondary batch out here in McLean County that's going to be moving through the Noble area as well. So again, Noble has an opportunity to pick up some fairly heavy rain. Heavy rain falling now, more heavy rain to come here over the next 30 minutes, and even through the Norman area. Again, a lot of heavy now going to moderate rain, and again, all that pushing out there towards the Lake Thunderbird area as well, and then eventually towards Shawnee and Tecumseh over here in Pottawatomie County, Tribby there as well, and then up here across parts of northeastern Oklahoma County. Let's take a look at that again. And again, the good news is overall most of this activity is non-severe. We have one severe storm down there in southwestern Oklahoma. We'll take a look at that here momentarily. But again, eastern Oklahoma County and again parts of southwestern Lincoln County, you see from Chandler to the southwest. Again, that's a fairly heavy storm. All those little white bolts right there, again, all of that, again, is cloud to ground lightning strikes. So again, the one severe storm that we still have in the state at least for another 15 minutes at least, officially from the Weather Service, it's going to be this storm down here. And again, it's going to be basically right over the Boone area, and then also a fairly strong storm over the Elgin going up to Fletcher area, right there from 44 to the north, right there in Comanche County. Again, we're seeing that hot core there, that purple and that pink showing up. Again, there's going to be an opportunity for some potentially quarter-size hail there, and then back over Boone, near the Boone area rather. Again, some quarter to potentially a $half size hail with that activity right there as well. So let's go and widen out the view here. Again, we'll kind of take an overview of everything that's going on. And again, you can see severe thunderstorm watch does continue for most of Oklahoma until 4 o'clock in the morning. Again, an opportunity for at least a few pulse severe storms heading into the overnight period. And then also our team of trackers, folks, you can see they're out from northwestern Oklahoma to western Oklahoma, focused right over all the storms, then even Terry over there in southeastern Oklahoma. So we're going to take a quick break. I kind of lost my voice today, and so we've been doing like multiple hours of coverage tonight, but overall it's actually hung in there pretty well. But again, we're going to have another live radar update coming up here in about 15 minutes. Keep it here with Oklahoma Weather Tracker TV. We'll keep you up to date with the latest live weather information for Oklahoma.